Friends, today I am going to explain a completely new manga. If this video gets a lot of views, then I am going to continue it. Please watch it completely and also support it. This story begins in the modern city of Kainjin, where people are glued to their smartphones as they walk around. A busy man, preoccupied with his day, receives a notification that catches his attention. He glances at it skeptically, thinking it might be a scam. To his surprise, the message congratulates him for being selected for a beta test of an ultra-realistic VR game called The Doomed Otherworld. We see that others are receiving the same message, their expressions mirroring his own concern and confusion. We see another person pause his game as a flood of notifications rolls in, urging him to join the fight as a warrior and save the world from monsters invading from another realm. He puts his phone down, scoffing at the message and declaring it a scam that only a fool would believe. Just then, he hears his friends yelling through his headphones, asking where he is. He rolls his eyes, puts the headphones back on, and replies, "I'm on my way now." We see a woman frustrated, struggling to understand why no one has joined the game. She checks the system and sees it still shows Euro participants in the other world. In disbelief, she yells that not a single person has signed up. Nearby, a tired guy sitting down comments that he expected this. Most people would see the message as a scam or ignore it altogether, thinking it's not important. He considers trying another approach. This man is Gu Bingji, the main protagonist. Once a university student, fate dealt him a harsh hand. His father passed away when he was young, and later his mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. In a desperate attempt to save her, he dropped out of school and took a job delivering food to cover her medical bills. Life wasn't easy for him, and one fateful day, a truck driver fell asleep at the wheel, barreling straight toward Gu. The truck struck him, sending him and his delivery flying. The driver, horrified, rushed over to help, but Gu lay on the ground, drawing his last breath. With a heavy heart, he whispered that he had many regrets as he closed his eyes for the final time. Suddenly, Gu hears a voice calling out to him, urging him to wake up. He opens his eyes, and as they adjust to the light, he wonders who is calling him. Sitting up, he rubs his head, feeling a throbbing headache. Confused, he thinks to himself about how he thought he had just died and wonders where he is. Suddenly, Gu sees a massive tree towering in front of him as he hears the voice again. It tells him that he is in the Asulu continent, home of the Himi elf tribe, at the ruins of the Himi village. The voice calls him a hero and says they have been waiting for his arrival, waiting for 200 years. Meanwhile, Gu is left wondering who this voice belongs to, struggling to make sense of his situation. Gu calls out to the tree, questioning if it was the voice in his head. He finds the tree strange and wonders what it means about a village and elves. He thinks he might have been sent here somehow. A blue stone covered in vines speaks, introducing itself as the Himi elf guardian of the Noah tree. It asks Gu to drip a small amount of blood on the stone to complete their contract. Gu stands up, noting the unusual tree and the blue stone, unaware that his presence has attracted the attention of several monsters lurking in the forest. The monsters rush forward, charging at Gu as they launch their attack. He suddenly hears a flurry of sounds and turns to look back, wondering what's happening. To his surprise, he sees a monster in the air, coming down to attack him, while another creature rushes in from the side. Panic sets in as he realizes the danger closing in on him. He manages to jump back just in time, narrowly avoiding the monster's attack as he crashes into the ground with a powerful impact. He stares at the impact of the attack in shock, wondering what kind of monster could cause such massive damage to the ground. But as he's lost in thought about the destruction, he fails to notice the other monster closing in from the side. It roars as it lunges into striking range, catching Gu completely off guard and leaving him no time to react. The monster slams into him with all its might, leaving Gu with no choice but to brace himself for the impact. He is launched into the air, hurtling toward the tree as he screams in pain from the brutal attack. He thinks he did his best to block it, but the impact still hurts immensely. But his worries are far from over as he crashes into the bluestone, coughing violently from the force of the impact. He falls to the ground, blood coming down his face from the attack, but there's no time to worry as the two monsters close in, determined to finish him off. Both monsters grin with malicious smiles as one of them rests its weapon on its shoulder, looking down at Gu with glowing red eyes. It drools in anticipation, savoring the thought of bringing his struggle to an end. Unable to move, he leans his head back in defeat and curses the monsters for attacking him so soon after arriving in this place. He wonders if this will truly be the end for him, as blood drips down covering his ear. The blood drips from his ear, pooling on the bluestone beneath him as he struggles to catch his breath. Each drop feels like a reminder of his impending doom, but his thoughts of impending doom are shattered as a bright light begins to shine behind him. His eyes widen in confusion and fear, wondering what in the world is happening. The light intensifies, revealing that it emanates from the bluestone at the base of the guardian tree. The monsters start to back off, shielding their eyes from the blinding brilliance, while Gu remains uncertain about what is happening. But suddenly, the light grows even larger, shooting a brilliant beam into the sky. Just then, a system notification appears, stating that the contract for Noah has been completed. The bright light begins to unleash bolts of lightning, ensnaring the monsters in its radiant glow. They can do nothing but scream in pain as the light envelops them, swiftly defeating them with overwhelming force. As the bright light begins to fade, a beautiful elf lady appears, radiating a warm glow behind. She blushes and smiles at Gu, congratulating him on completing the Noah's contract. She advises him to follow the tasks assigned by Noah in the future. Just then, a system notification pops up, announcing that the first mission from Noah is to recruit two heroes, informing him that completing this mission will reward him with 50 arc energy points. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and like, it really helps me out. At the start of the second chapter, we see our MC receive a welcome gift from the elf girl in the leader outfit. Leader outfit basic attribute defense 5 special attributes can materialize life information. Our MC thinks, the clothes reward just came true. Immediately, our hero starts asking the girl about information about this world. The elf girl begins telling our hero everything about this world. 500 years ago, Emperor Molong led an army of demons that occupied the entire Asulu continent. Warriors with special abilities to fight demons were called heroes. They united to fight against Emperor Molong and his army of demons. Unfortunately, repeated defeats brought the heroes to the brink of extinction. If things stay that way, the entire army will perish. To keep the last hope alive, the Zime elves sacrificed themselves to chant the Ark mantra. They sealed all the dying heroes and various resources into the Noah crystal. The heroes are waiting for the leader to form a contract. And you are the one we are waiting for to sign the contract. Please lead the heroes and fight against Emperor Molong and reclaim the Asulu continent occupied by demons. After listening to all this, our MC gets angry and says, "What should I do? I can get killed anytime in this game." The girl becomes a little happy and says to our MC, according to the records of the Zimri tribe, Emperor Molong has a Molong treasure crystal that can fulfill any wish, and only our descendants from the Zimri tribe can understand it. The girl comes a little closer to our hero and tries to entice him. You can get any wish. After hearing this, our hero goes into deep thought that this can cure my mother. If this is real, then I will have to do something. Look like I will have to trust her, but now have forget out how to save in this world. What should I do? I can connect to your world, provided I get permission from humans on your side. You can complete the contract and transfer your consciousness into the sleeping body of a hero. This way, we can resurrect the heroes. Then we are shown that two people have joined the other world. The girl happily tells our MC, "I understand. Now I just have to send it to someone I trust." As soon as our MC moves his hand towards it, a lot of green light starts coming out from the tree and three kinds of things become visible there. Armik is congratulated and receives three items, one of which is the rusty giant iron sword, and the second is the magic map, and the third is the bread. Immediately Armik summons one of those three things, and this causes a lot of green energy to collect in our MC's hands. Our MC gets a rusty iron sword, and the sword has basic attributes, attack 10, special attributes none. Our MC looks at the sword and thinks that even though it looks a bit weak, at least I have a weapon to fight the monsters outside. Elf Girl says, "Congratulations, leader, your abilities have improved." Elf Girl laughs a little as she speaks to our MC. The next mission is the new Ark mission. Please collect 1,000 pieces of wood. Then our MC new mission is shown where Noah's mission, gather 1,000 pieces of woods. Mission reward, 100 Ark energy points. It was a big shock to hear our 1,000 wood. After a while our goo comes out of the portal. After coming out of the portal, we see that those two monsters are not able to enter inside an invisible barrier, so our MC cannot understand why those monsters are standing there. Then the elf girl speaks to our MC. After completing Noah's contract, the Noah tree temporarily forms a protection barrier to prevent monster attacks, but the barrier will disappear in a month. You can check the exact extent of the protection circle on the magic map. Our main character looks at the map and says, "Great, now I don't have to worry about getting attacked while gathering wood." Then while looking at map he says, "There's a place that looks like a village near the edge of the light circle. I'll check it out tomorrow. Maybe I can trade for some tools or something." And we get to know the name of the place inside the map, Ruins of the Zeume Elf Tribe. Then we are shown that our main character starts looking at the map very carefully. After looking at the map carefully, our hero asks the elf girl, "By the way, this bread has been sealed for so long. Can it still be eaten?" After listening to our MC, the girl replied to him that because inside the Noah crystal, all time is frozen, so everything remains in the same state as when it was first sealed. What a fascinating ability, he thinks as he eats the bread. That's another problem. I have to find a source of food. Otherwise, I'll die of hunger here before I'm eaten by the monsters. Our hero asks the elf girl a question while eating bread. Speaking of food, "Aryan, how did you send them to this world?" The elf girl replies, "Strictly speaking, it was not a direct transfer, but a magical one. We transferred the consciousness of humans from your side into the bodies of the heroes. This way, they can control the bodies of the heroes." After a while, he takes out all her stuff and looks at it and says that this must be the only valuable thing taken out from the ruins. While leaving that place, he thinks that I would like to sell some of these things and buy food and some tools for myself in the nearby village. The scene changes. We are shown a girl running away from a goblin and crying for help. Then we are shown a man climbing up a tree and watching the girl and the goblin from a distance. Then the man's face was shown to him, and it looked like this person was very bad, and he stuck out his tongue and said in a strange way, "A lowly slave has made a mistake, and now he must suffer punishment. I have heard that goblins can mate with humans. Today I am going to see it with my own eyes." Unfortunately, the girl's foot hits a stone, and her girl falls down very hard. The goblin starts approaching the girl very quickly, and any girl can get very happy after seeing the goblin's face. The goblin reaches the girl and grabs her chest cloth. The girl starts crying a lot out of fear. The goblin tears the girl's clothes, and the girl screams very loudly. You have to wait for the next chapter to see what happens next with the girl. Till then, please subscribe to the channel and like the video.